Hi everyone, and welcome to another English Scrum video lesson. I'm Andy. Today, we're going to talk about the word look. Look is a very interesting word. It has many usages in English. So today, we will talk about 11 different usages for the word look. We'll even briefly talk about the difference between the words look and see. Okay, everybody, are you ready? Let's get started with the first usage of the word look. First, let's talk about the usage of look and look at. Let's look at some very basic examples. The first example, look, there is a new building. I looked at the proposal. Please look at the screen. Let's talk about the difference between look at, and see. Look or look at is when your eyes focus on an object. This is with intention. See is when an object comes into your line of sight, but there is no intention. Here's the example. Last night, I used my telescope to look at the full moon. In this example, the speaker intentionally focuses on the full moon, so we use the word look at. Now, let's talk about the example sentence for see. Yesterday, while I was walking by the pond at the park, I saw a duck and 7 ducklings. In this example, the speaker was busy doing something else, walking by the pond at the park, and randomly encountered the duck and ducklings. So, we use the word saw. Let's talk about the next word, look or look like. If you want to describe something visually, you can use the word look plus an adjective, or look like plus a noun phrase. Here are some examples. You look great today. You look sick. Are you okay? He looks really confident. That cloud looks like a butterfly. That man looks like a male model. Okay, our third phrase, look for. If you are searching for something, you can use the phrase look for. Here are some examples. I'm looking for a new job. Hey, she was looking for you at the office. We are looking for the missing file. Let's talk about the next usage, look into. There are two different meanings for look into. There's a literal meaning of the word and a non-literal meaning of the word. Let's talk about the literal meaning first. Literally, look into means to look inside of something. For example, like a bag. I looked into her bag and I saw some money. Now, let's talk about the non-literal meaning. If you are investigating or thinking about something, you can use the word look into. For example, we should look into buying a new refrigerator. This one is too old. The next usage is look up. Look up has a literal meaning and a non-literal meaning. Let's talk about the literal meaning first. When you look from beneath something, you can use the word look up. For example, he heard a loud noise above him. He looked up and saw a helicopter. There's also the non-literal meaning of look up. This is the usage of search. He is looking up how to get to the new office. By the way, maybe you have noticed that look into and look up both have similar meanings. Let's talk about those differences. Look into is more for investigation. For example, we should look into more housing prices before we get a house loan. Look up is more for searching, like we looked up your social media profile. Okay, now let's talk about the next usage, look down. This also has a literal and non-literal meaning. When you are physically above something, you can say, look down. I climbed on top of the roof and looked down on the street below. Now for the non-literal meaning. This has a negative meaning. For example, if you think that someone is socially beneath you, you can use the phrase, look down. My new boss is such a know-it-all. He looks down on anyone who doesn't have an MBA. I don't like working with him. Let's talk about the next phrase, look out. This phrase has a literal and a non-literal meaning. Here's the literal meaning first. When you're looking at an outside view, you can use the phrase look out. For example, I looked out the window and saw a fire truck in the street. Now here's the non-literal meaning. For example, when something dangerous is nearby, you can say, look out. For example, you should look out for cars while you're walking on narrow streets. By the way, you can also use the phrase watch out in the same way that you can say look out. Let's look at the phrase look after. When you take care of babies, children, or pets, you can use the word look after. For example, I'll look after your baby while you're out. He looks after his dog every day. The next phrase is look forward to. You can use the phrase look forward to when you're expecting something fun. I look forward to seeing you soon. I look forward to your visit. The next phrase is look over. When you check something briefly, you can use this phrase, look over. I looked over the document. Please look over the textbook until the teacher arrives. Please do not confuse this phrase with the phrase to overlook, which means to ignore someone's bad points. The mother spoiled her son too much and even overlooked his bad behavior at school. Finally, let's talk about look around. When you check the surrounding area to find something, you can use look around. She looked around the office to find Jim. I looked around the room, but I couldn't find my keys. How is that, everybody? I hope that you can understand all those phrases. Of course, please feel free to listen to that explanation part again and do some investigation or look into some of the meanings some more online. But for now, let's continue to a quick exercise. Are you ready? Here we go. Number 1. Did you see my phone somewhere? No, maybe you should look it in the meeting room. The answer is 4. Maybe you should look for it in the meeting room. Number 2. Thank you for coming to the interview today. Thank you very much for having me. I've been looking this since I got your email. The answer is forward to. Thank you very much for having me. I've been looking forward to this since I got your email. Number 3. You look a strong guy. Can you help me pick up this box? The answer is like. You look like a strong guy. Can you help me pick up this box? Number 4. I looked town all day and finally found a nice gym. The answer is around. I looked around town all day and finally found a nice gym. Number 5. We only have 3 minutes before the meeting starts. Are you ready for it? That's fine. I quickly looked the document and I remembered the most important part. The answer is over. That's fine. I quickly looked over the document and I remembered the most important part. Number 6. My husband and I will go on vacation next month, but I can't find any good place to keep our dog while we're away. I can look your dog if you want. The answer is after. I can look after your dog if you want. Number 7. Would you like to make a contract today? I need to look this more thoroughly first. I'll call you tomorrow. The answer is into. I need to look into this more thoroughly first. I'll call you tomorrow. Number 8. Just because you yourself are rich doesn't mean you're allowed to look on people who have less money. The answer is down. Just because you yourself are rich doesn't mean you are allowed to look down on people who have less money. Number 9. I feel like I want to eat something light for lunch. Okay, I'm going to look a good restaurant nearby. The answer is up. Okay, I'm going to look up a good restaurant nearby. How was that exercise, everybody? If you have any questions, please try to watch the video again and try to do the exercise again. And of course, if you still have questions, please feel free to write to us in the comments below. Thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.